everyone, ready to really dive deep into digital marketing.
I'm excited to break it all down.
I feel like you hear it everywhere you turn these days, right? Digital marketing this and digital that, but
Yeah.
it can be kind of overwhelming. Like, where do you even start?
Right.
So we're going to cut through all that noise and give you like a clear roadmap
Absolutely.
to navigate this whole world of digital marketing.
It's exciting stuff.
Really is.
But it's it's not just throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, right? It's really a strategic approach.
Right.
To connecting with your customers.
And connecting with them where they are.
Exactly where they are, which is online these days.
Online, yeah.
Think about it. How many hours are you scrolling through Facebook or Instagram or...
Oh my gosh, too many.
Reading articles or even just, searching for information.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what digital marketing is all about.
Yeah.
It's leveraging those moments to actually build relationships.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then ultimately drive results.
Yeah. So it's not just about like ads popping up everywhere.
Not anymore.
It's more about really connecting with people.
It's giving them something of value, building that trust.
Okay.
So that they actually want to engage with your brand.
Yeah, so you're actually building a relationship, not just throwing something at them.
It's not a one-way street anymore.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm definitely guilty of spending way too much time online these days.
Well, absolutely, me too.
But, okay, let's get down to like the nitty-gritty here. How important is this really? Can businesses ignore this and still like be successful today?
I would say absolutely not.
Okay.
In fact, there was a recent study by SourceName that found that businesses using digital marketing strategies are actually seeing like an average of statistic % higher revenue growth than those who don't.
Okay, so that's pretty significant.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah, you can't ignore it.
So like ignoring digital marketing is kind of like trying to sell cassette tapes in the Spotify era.
It's exactly. You're just missing out on like the majority of your potential customers.
Wow. Okay, that's a compelling statistic for sure.
Yeah. So
where do we even begin? I feel like there's so many different aspects to digital marketing.
There are.
Where do we even focus our energy?
Well, you're right. It can feel overwhelming, right? Like you're drinking from a fire hose.
Totally.
But don't worry, we're going to break it down.
Okay, good.
So I think the most important thing, the first thing you really need to nail down is understanding your audience.
Okay.
So who are you trying to reach?
Right.
What are their needs? What are their pain points? And honestly, where do they hang out online?
Yeah.
Once you really have a clear picture of who that target audience is, that's when you can tailor your efforts to resonate with them.
Okay, so let's say I'm opening a new online store selling like handcrafted jewelry.
Okay, love it.
My ideal customer is somebody who like appreciates unique handmade pieces.
Yeah.
And they value sustainability. Where would I even begin to find those people online?
Well, in that case, I think visual platforms like Instagram and Pinterest would be perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Those platforms really allow you to showcase the beauty of what you're making.
Okay.
And, really highlight those unique pieces through photography.
Makes sense.
You could also think about creating like a blog.
Okay.
Or a video series.
Yeah.
Where you really highlight the craftsmanship.
Right.
That goes behind each piece. And also emphasize that commitment to sustainability.
Interesting. So would you say that creating content like those blog posts or videos, is that really the foundation of digital marketing? Because it seems like everything comes back to content.
I would say it's definitely a core element.
Yep.
Especially when you're first starting out.
Right.
Because valuable content is what builds trust. It establishes your authority.
Okay.
And then ultimately drives traffic to your online store.
So it's not just about having like a pretty website. It's about having that content that draws people in.
It gives them a reason to be there to engage with your brand.
Okay. So content is key.
Very key.
Got it.
Yeah. Think of it this way. Like if SEO is like a popularity contest.
Okay.
For websites, then content is what makes you stand out from the crowd.
Interesting.
Right. It's what gives people a reason to visit you and engage with you.
Okay, that's a good analogy. I like that.
Yeah, it's like, building a house, you wouldn't just start with the roof. Right. You got to have that foundation.
Okay.
And the content is that foundation, and then you need the walls and the plumbing and all that good stuff.
I love that analogy. Okay, so content is our foundation. What are the walls and plumbing in digital marketing?
So that's where things like SEO and social media marketing come in.
Okay.
Let's start with SEO.
Okay.
So imagine you're searching for like that perfect handmade jewelry piece online, right?
Yeah.
What do you type into that search bar?
I don't know, probably like handmade earrings or unique jewelry or like something more specific like sustainable silver necklace.
Exactly.
Right.
Those are keywords.
Okay.
And SEO is all about optimizing your website and your content
Sure.
to rank higher on those search results for those relevant keywords.
Got
So the higher you rank, the more likely people are going to find you
Right.
when they're searching for products like yours.
Makes sense. But I've heard that SEO can be pretty technical.
It can be.
Is that something a beginner can even really tackle?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
You don't have to be like a coding wizard to get started.
Right.
There's so many free tools and resources available.
Okay.
Like Google Search Console is a great one that can really help you understand the basics.
Okay.
And, even focusing on like simple things like using the right keywords in your website copy and like your blog posts, that can make a huge difference.
So even those small steps can really make an impact.
They can, yeah.
Okay, so SEO, we kind of got that. Now, you mentioned social media marketing earlier.
Right, yeah.
How does that fit into everything?
So social media marketing is really about connecting with your audience.
Okay.
On all those different platforms, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn.
Right.
And remember how we talked about your ideal customer valuing sustainability?
Yeah.
That's where you can use social media to really share that behind-the-scenes content.
Oh, interesting.
About like, your ethical sourcing practices.
Okay.
Or like highlight the eco-friendly packaging you use.
Gotcha.
It's about building that community around your brand and sharing content that really resonates with their values.
So it's less about just like advertising and more about really like building that connection.
It's about building relationships.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's not about bombarding people with ads anymore.
Right.
It's about providing that value, building trust.
Right, creating those genuine connections.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here, but let's be honest. Everyone makes mistakes when they're first starting out.
Oh, for sure.
What are some of the biggest pitfalls that we should watch out for?
I would say one of the most common mistakes is diving in without a clear strategy.
Okay.
It's like setting off on a road trip with no map and no destination.
Right.
You might end up somewhere, but it's probably not where you wanted to go.
So it's not just about like making a bunch of content and hoping that something sticks.
You need a roadmap that outlines your goals and your target audience, the platforms you're going to use, the type of content you're going to create, and how you're going to measure success.
So this is where like tracking and analytics come in?
Yes.
Our source material mentioned tools like Google Analytics.
Exactly. Data is your best friend.
Okay.
With digital marketing and tools like Google Analytics can give you so much information about who's visiting your website, what they're engaging with, and how they're even finding you.
So you can really see what's working.
Yeah, and then you can refine your strategy to make sure you're not wasting your efforts.
So it's all about having that plan, tracking your progress, and then, making adjustments as you go.
It's not a set it and forget it kind of thing.
Got it.
It takes work.
Okay.
But that's what makes it exciting.
Right.
It's dynamic. It's always evolving.
Yeah.
There's always something new to learn.
Totally.
And experiment with.
Speaking of experimenting, our source material mentioned not being afraid to try new things. So how do you find that balance between like sticking to your strategy, but also experimenting with new approaches?
It's kind of like cooking, right? You have your base recipe, but then you might tweak it a little bit.
Right.
Based on what ingredients you have or, maybe what your guests prefer.
I like that. Okay, so how do we know what ingredients to add to our digital marketing recipe?
Well, that's where testing and data come in.
Okay.
So let's say you're running a social media campaign for your jewelry. You could create like 2 different versions of an ad with like slightly different visuals or messaging.
Gotcha.
And then see which one actually performs better.
So you're really testing it out. Exactly.
It's all about gathering that data and then analyzing it.
Okay.
And making those informed decisions.
So you take the guesswork out of it.
You do, yeah.
Awesome. And speaking of taking the guesswork out of it, our source material had 3 key pieces of advice for digital marketing success.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm ready to hear those.
Okay, first and foremost.
Okay.
Patience is key.
Yes.
Building a successful online presence takes time.
It does.
It takes consistent effort. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
So true. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see results like right away.
Right.
So how do we stay motivated and on track?
I think it's important to celebrate those small wins.
Okay.
Like maybe you gained a few new followers on social media or you saw a little increase in website traffic.
Yeah.
Those little victories are huge.
They are.
They tell you you're moving in the right direction.
Okay, I like that.
And then secondly, never stop learning.
Okay.
This is a field that is constantly evolving.
Right.
So stay curious. Keep up with those latest trends and technologies.
Any suggestions on how to do that?
Oh, there's so many great blogs and podcasts like this one.
Of course.
And online courses available.
Right.
Just find what works for you.
Okay.
And dedicate, even just a little bit of time each week.
Yeah.
To expanding your knowledge.
Perfect. And what was that third piece of advice?
Third, embrace experimentation.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to try new things, even if they seem a little bit scary.
Right.
You never know what might work.
I love that advice.
Yeah.
It really takes the pressure off of having to be, perfect.
Exactly.
Right out of the gate.
It's all about learning and adapting and finding what works for you.
Awesome. Well, this has been an incredible deep dive.
It has.
We covered so much,
right.
From understanding your audience to creating valuable content to SEO, social media, and even a data-driven approach.
It's been fun.
It really has. I feel like I have a whole new toolkit to navigate the world of digital marketing.
I hope so.
But before we go, I want to leave our listeners with something to ponder.
Okay.
We talked a lot about understanding your audience.
Uh-huh.
So what are some creative ways that you, the listener, can really get to know your target audience better?
Oh, that's a good one.
Maybe lurk in some online forums where they hang out.
Yeah.
Check out their social media profiles, or even just engage with them directly, ask for their feedback.
Love it.
The deeper your understanding, the more impactful your digital marketing is going to be.
For sure.
Well, thanks again for joining us for this deep dive into digital marketing.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you feel empowered and inspired to really take your online presence to that next level.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep experimenting.
See you later.